Hey, welcome back everyone. Welcome new subscribers. Today we're going to talk about burritos and blood sugar for diabetes. No mystery today. I'm telling you exactly what the video is going to be about. And I think millions of you guys are going to love this video because who doesn't love burritos, right? Let me just go over this quick disclaimer. Although I do have a medical background, this is not a medical channel. This channel shares my diabetic journey and how I was able to reverse my diabetes diagnosis using common sense with trial and error, so you don't have to make the same mistakes as me, and hopefully you'll be able to reverse your diabetes diagnosis as well. Okay guys, let's get started. So today we discuss one of the world's most favorite foods, the burrito. Loved by millions of people around the globe and can help us lower our blood sugar while still enjoying one of the great foods in life. And that's what this channel is all about, guys. We don't say no to anything, we just figure out a way to incorporate these things into our diet, which keeps us happy, right? As diabetics, we don't have to say no to anything. So let's talk about how to maximize nutrition and maintain a healthy blood sugar level while indulging in something like a burrito. So burritos can be either nutritiously balanced or carb heavy, depending on your choices. We're all used to the carb heavy burritos, right? That's typically something we as diabetics try to stay away from because it's really hard to figure out how to eat a burrito in its normal state like everyone else eats it, right? And for it to benefit us and our blood sugar as diabetics. So you can have it with a wide variety or array of vegetables, including several types of fiber-rich beans and protein sources, guys. When I say, beans are protein, but beans are full of fiber, but there are other protein sources, if you like meat, that you can have, right? You can have steak, you can have, carne asada, which is steak. You can have chicken. I think this pulled pork or stuff like that. So with mindful choosing, a burrito can be a wise choice for those seeking a quick, quality meal, given its customizable options and superior ingredient options, right? So the key word here is options. We're not going to have a burrito like normal people have burrito because we're not normal with diabetics, right? We have to watch our blood sugar, but we're not going to say no either. So however, a burrito's portions can be generous and uneven as well. So like anything we talk about on this channel, moderation is the key because there are some huge burritos out there. And I'm going to tell you guys a quick story here. Yesterday, I haven't had a burrito in such a long time. So yesterday I went to a food truck and I got a burrito with everything in it, including all the hot stuff, as hot as you can get it. And I'm going to share that information with you today, and my blood sugar and stuff like that, and how it turned out. I haven't had a burrito in quite a while, so I didn't have a clue what my blood sugar was going to look like. But I did check my blood sugar this morning, my fasting glucose, because I had that burrito at dinner yesterday, and I'll share that information with you guys and let you know what my thoughts are. So a large burrito with rice, although enriched with protein, fat, and veggies, may cause substantial spikes in blood sugar. Well, we as diabetics, we know that, don't we? And that's why we're having this discussion today, because we know we can have burritos in a different way, a little bit different form, looks the same, tastes the same, but it's going to be better for us. So for instance, a regular chicken burrito with white rice contains about 1,325 calories and 151 grams of carbohydrates. Fortunately, you're the one in charge of your food choices, right? We as diabetics, we make choices for ourselves. We don't say no, I keep repeating that, but we make changes in the choices that we can obtain, right? So by choosing wisely, a burrito can be a prudent choice for us diabetics and those with active lifestyles, of course, people that like to work out, and discerning palates. I have a discerning palate. I'm a foodie. I love to eat. And I'm sure you probably are as well if you're watching my channel, right? Because you don't want to know, as about diabetic, what's good for you and what's bad for you. You want to know that, but you would like to also know, how do I incorporate some of the things that are also supposedly bad for me into my diet where it's still favorable to stabilize my blood sugar? And there are ways to do that. So that's what this channel is all about. So there are still metabolic dangers of eating burritos all the time, right? Diabetes comes with metabolic syndrome, blood pressure problems, blood sugar problems, and cholesterol problems. And those are some of the things we look for as diabetics. And we talk about multiple ways to deal with those particular issues on this channel. So beginning with the initial decision to have a burrito, or burrito bowl, if you will, it presents an immediate challenge for us diabetics, right? Both options feature refined carbohydrates, either from a flour tortilla and rice, or rice alone if you choose the carb bowl, the bowl by itself. So the flour tortilla, while labeled as wheat flour, are processed, which reduces their fiber, protein, and beneficial vitamins and minerals. And further down in the discussion, I'll tell you guys what I do about the flour tortilla issue. I just substitute it for something else, and you guys can too, and you can buy it right in the supermarket. So consequently, wheat flour primarily elevates blood glucose levels. Yes, it does. Just like white flour, it does. So similarly, the white rice is devoid of its germ and bran, leaving only the starchy endosperm or the grain's sugary core. And that's why white rice is not so good for you, because all the fiber is taken out of it. You know, it's processed, and we don't want anything processed as diabetic. A small study discovered that when consumed as part of a meal containing vegetables and protein, both rice and wheat yield comparable glycemic responses. Do you know why that is, guys? If you've been watching my channel, you already know why. It's the glycemic index, because it's mixed with other things that are good for you that can help mitigate the blood sugar spike. Brown rice can be an alternative in your burrito instead of white rice. Brown rice is a little bit better than white rice, but it's not the best. And I've talked about in a previous video what the best rice is. And if you want to know, just refer back to one of my previous videos. So due to the preservation of the bran and germ, brown rice contains more fiber. So brown rice is a little bit better because it has the bran and the germ still intact and it hasn't been processed out. And so brown rice can be an alternative in your burrito, I guess, if you had no other choices. So due to the preservation of the bran and germ, brown rice contains more fiber, like we mentioned. And a small study of type 2 diabetics or diabetes patients who regularly consume white rice, switching to brown rice led to improved overall blood sugar levels. Yes. So I think if you don't have a choice, like I mentioned earlier, brown rice would be great. If not, go with the rice that I mentioned in the previous video. That's the best rice for us as diabetics. Moreover, in a large population study, individuals who consumed at least 2 servings of brown rice per month had lower incidences of type 2 diabetes than those who never consumed brown rice. Well, that would make some sense, right? So, however, it's essential to note that brown rice is a higher glycemic index score than pasta. And I did talk about a specific pasta you can have as well in a previous video, guys. So check that out as well. So that pasta I talked about is a better choice than brown rice. And that excessive consumption of seemingly healthier carbohydrates like brown rice, such as brown rice and sweet potatoes, can cause blood glucose levels to rise in some individuals. So we're all different, you know, our bodies behave differently when it comes to food and things like that. So we all have to try different things to see what works. And my goal on this channel is to help you try the things that I've tried to see if they work for you as well, because that way you're not all over the place. You have someone that's telling you that, hey, I'm a diabetic just like you, and this has worked for me. Give it a shot and give me some feedback and let me know how it's, you know, how you're doing with it. So therefore, it's advisable to avoid some of these things like the brown rice and the sweet potatoes. But additionally, corn salsa, while technically a whole grain, may trigger glucose spikes in some people. I think it triggers glucose spikes in everyone, to be honest with you. But just like anything else, if you use the theory of glycemic loading, you can offset some of those glucose spikes. So lastly, I suggest avoiding tortilla chips, because when we have burritos, you know, you always, especially if you have it in a restaurant, you have tortilla chips that go with it, right? So despite being made with minimal ingredients and slightly fewer carbohydrates than white flour, they're still processed and likely to raise blood sugar levels in diabetics. While diabetics have a variety of options, it's crucial to make mindful choices to maintain a balanced meal and blood sugar levels. So is there a healthier burrito? Why not just have a salad, right? Start your meal with greens or a green mix, which might consist of romaine lettuce, baby kale, baby spinach, or simply a serving of romaine lettuce for a crisper foundation that endures the toppings may provide advantages for our metabolic health as diabetics. A research review revealed that consuming an additional 1.15 servings of leafy greens daily could lower the risk of type 2 diabetes by 14%. That's great, guys. Eat your greens. 40% is a large number. I'm not going to say the word huge, because those of you that watch my channel, you know I use that word. I overuse that word. So this may be attributed to the antioxidants in greens, which counteract oxidative stress a form of cell damage that contributes to metabolic dysfunction. So we talk about oxidative stress all the time and antioxidants and things like that with regard to some of the other topics that we've gone over in other videos. So in a study which tracks blood sugar responses or people's blood sugar responses after consuming a burrito meal, a burrito typically results in a 30 to 37 milligram per deciliter increase, whereas a keto type salad bowl causes an average rise of only 7 milligrams per deciliter. So those choices are yours. I mean, however you want to do it. I am not a big fan of salad, I'll tell you that. I eat it because I have to. The difference highlights the impact of meal composition on blood sugar levels. And I think we all know that. I mean, if you eat right, your blood sugar typically is going to be better than if you eat less favorable, right? The things are telling you you shouldn't be eating. So selecting a greens mix or romaine lettuce as a base for your meal may contribute to our metabolic health benefits, right? So the antioxidants in leafy greens combat oxidative stress, which we've talked about in the past, guys, right? While the keto type salad bowl demonstrates a significantly lower impact on blood sugar levels compared to just the burrito by itself. So are tortillas and rice off limits, guys? So you know rice is a big component of your burrito, and so is the tortilla or the shell that surrounds it, right? The flour tortilla. But there's also an exceptional choice, which is called cauliflower rice, if you can find it at specific restaurants and around wherever you live. During a brief period in 2021, a famous American restaurant, I'm not going to say the name because I don't do brands here, introduced cauliflower rice at the outset of their ordering process. So this was a little test that they did. A member of that team, or the same team that did the research previously mentioned before, discovered that sushi prepared with white rice led to a glucose spike more than 6 times greater than sushi made with cauliflower rice. And you'll see cauliflower, it's a big topic for keto and for diabetics and things like that. This cauliflower flour now, so you can make pizza crusts. I make pizza, so you can make that kind of stuff. But by incorporating an additional vegetable into the meal, cauliflower rice presents a healthier alternative. So if you see cauliflower rice as an option, consider requesting cauliflower rice as your alternative, instead of just regular white rice. However, it's advisable to avoid the typical rice and tortillas to maintain a balanced blood sugar level. Right, so that's your typical advice, right? Always avoid the rice and the tortillas. But I'm not telling you to avoid anything here. I'm telling you, they as the general medical and research community is telling you to do that, but I'm telling you what has worked for me, and there's a way to do it, which doesn't mean avoiding anything. It just means changing the way you think and how you go about doing things. Does that mean that you can't have rice and tortillas? Of course not, guys. Of course not. If you've been watching my videos, you know that there's a special rice that you can have that is great for stabilizing blood sugar. And if you don't know, check the video. I have a video all about that. And what about the tortillas? What's my option for tortillas, right? I love tortillas. We all love tortillas. You can have them too, guys. Not just the normal tortillas that we're used to seeing and eating, which you already know is bad for you as diabetic. So there's a special low carb tortilla available in the supermarket that works wonders for me, guys. And I'm sure it'll work wonders for you as well. You can find it in the aisle where they have the Mexican food products and the area where they have the tortillas. Just look for the low carb one. It's usually made out of wheat flour or something like that, but it's still a way better choice. I think the net carbs is like 7 grams or something like that. So something ridiculously low. It could be 3 grams if I'm not mistaken. But something else you can do is you can have extra beans, right? Let's say you don't have all that rice. Just double up on the beans. Incorporating fiber and protein-rich foods in the diet aids in maintaining stable blood sugar levels. Among the best options for enhancing diet fiber consumption are beans, which are rich in fiber. Research indicates that diets high in fiber from beans and vegetables foster the growth of good gut bacteria that collaborate with fiber to produce short-chain fatty acids. So we talk about that. Gut health is one of the most important things that we talk about on this channel. If you don't have a healthy gut, no part of you will ever be healthy. Health starts in the gut. So these molecules have been associated with weight management and enhanced insulin sensitivity. It helps you process the sugar better and gets the sugar into your cells, but it also helps you lose weight or maintain a healthy weight. And you know what that means. The doctor tells you all the time. You already know. Lose weight, that means you're going to lower your blood sugar. So you should opt for a double or triple serving of beans if you choose to forego or leave the rice out of the equation in your burrito. However, it's essential to be aware that beans can cause glucose spikes in certain individuals. So beans are also a protein, guys. If you've watched my previous videos, you know proteins by themselves cause glucose spikes. That's why you have to do the glycemic loading. You have to have your proteins, your fats, your good fats, right? Your polyunsaturated fatty acids, your monounsaturated fatty acids, your coconut oil, your olive oil, your avocado oils. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there. You have to include all of that together to get a good blood glucose reading. So therefore, being attentive to the impact of beans on your body is crucial. We're all different. Something else you can do is you can pile on the veggies in your burrito if that's what you so choose to do. Increasing vegetable consumption provides fiber and crucial micronutrients that your body requires. Bell peppers and tomatoes, for instance, are plentiful in vitamin C and antioxidants. A salad can bring you close to 5 servings in a single meal, particularly if you double up. Select nearly any protein for your burrito. You got to have the protein. That's very important for us. Helps keep you lean and keeps the muscle mass on as well, right? Opting for a protein source can assist in meeting your daily zinc requirements as well. I bet you didn't know that, guys. And zinc is so important to our diets as diabetic. A zinc deficiency may increase the risk of metabolic dysfunction. Again, on the path to metabolic syndrome, we don't want to go there. And if you are, we want to reverse that. And this could be due to several factors, of course, right? First, our bodies require zinc to generate and utilize insulin, which controls blood glucose levels. Guys, I apologize for the background noise. That's my dog chewing a bone. Second, zinc aids in reducing circulating C-reactive protein. Now, you know we've talked about C-reactive protein. That's a marker of inflammation, a blood marker of inflammation, and the production of inflammatory cytokines. So C-reactive protein, guys, is very important. Like if you have a problem and you go to the hospital, that's one of the things they do when they check your blood. They check your C-reactive protein because inflammation to anyone is not a good thing. I mean, inflammation is the origin of all diseases known to man today. So we don't want inflammation in our bodies if we can help it. It's hard. Everything causes inflammation, especially if you're eating processed food. So that's why you want to go back to natural foods with the natural packaging, the natural skin. Nothing in a box, nothing processed if you can help it. You know, I say all these things. I'm not perfect. I'm not 100%. I eat some of these things that I'm not supposed to eat, just like I know you do as well. But eat more of the better things for you than more of the less better things for you. And I think you're going to be on your path to wellness. So over time, chronic inflammation is closely linked to the onset of diabetes. If you didn't know that, now we know that. So let's talk about the salsa. You got to add some salsa to your burrito, right? But you don't want to add the corn, right? Corn is not good. We talked about corn a few minutes ago. A single cup of cooked corn offers 3.5 grams of fiber, guys, but also contains nearly 11 grams of starch and around 7 grams of sugar. So the corn is a no-no. You want to get the corn out of there if you can help it. Conversely, other salsas like the tomatillo, the green chili salsa are excellent choices to incorporate more non-starchy vegetables into the meal. So you can have your salsa, just don't have the corn. Feel free to include them all if you're interested. So the other thing we always look at from a diet perspective is the cheese and the sour cream. Well, the choice is yours as a diabetic. There's just a few caveats. Neither of these options will negatively impact the metabolic friendliness of your salad. But if calorie reduction is a concern, which it should be a concern if you're diabetic, opting for a smaller serving of high-calorie sour cream can make a significant difference. So moderation, like anything else. Don't go crazy with the sour cream. A full ladle, a ladle is that thing they use like, you ever watch them make pizza? They'll take the little ladle, pick up the tomato sauce, pour it on the pizza, and they'll use it to, spread the tomato sauce out. That's the ladle. So a full ladle of sour cream can add over 100 calories to your meal. So be mindful of portion sizes. We just talked about that, moderation. There's also ongoing debate about dairy. There always is. There's a debate about everything when it comes to diabetes. This guy tells you this is great. This guy tells you this is not. I mean, including myself. I'm telling you what works and what doesn't work for me. It may or may not work for you. So there's an ongoing debate about dairy and its impact on metabolic health. since we're talking about sour cream and all that stuff. It might not raise blood glucose, but it does increase insulin levels. Okay, great. There's an ongoing debate about coffee as well, because it does increase your blood sugar levels temporarily, but overall it doesn't increase your A1C, as long as you don't go over 4 cups a day, from what I've read. You can request for any ingredient, including these, to be served in smaller quantities, moderation again, when ordering online or in person. So what about the most important thing on the burrito? The guac, the guacamole, the avocado. Indeed, guacamole is a justified extra cost, right? But who cares? You pay a little bit more, but you get better health. The primarily whole food derived fats, such as those found in avocados, in guacamole, have minimal impact on blood glucose levels and can potentially reduce the glucose spiking effects of carbohydrate consumption. And I'll tell you, I had guacamole, but I had a half avocado, so in a different form yesterday with my burrito, that huge burrito I had. So incorporating proteins, fats, fiber, or a combination of these in a carbohydrate intake is generally recommended for a balanced diet. Not just that, it's your glycemic load. That's what helps blunt the blood sugar spike. You know, you don't want that spike. And that's what we call the glycemic load, which, if combined correctly and in moderation, can reduce the blood sugar spike caused by an ingredient in our burrito that is not friendly to us as diabetics. So there's always something there that's not good for us, right? But if we have the majority of ingredients in that burrito that are actually good for us as diabetics, they offset the bad ingredient. So why not have more lettuce, right? I am not a big lettuce fan. I'm not a big salad fan, but I'm just going to make the recommendation. Including it adds not only more vegetables, but also enhances the texture, which it does. I mean, I like it because it's crispy, but I'm not the biggest salad fan. So, and you don't really need salad dressing. I don't do salad dressing, and I don't think you need it either, guys. This is an often overlooked aspect of metabolic concern. Let's say, for instance, the honey lime vinaigrette contains approximately 12 grams of sugar in its small serving. That's a lot of sugar, 12 grams. Your salad is already seasoned with sour cream and various salsas. Consider avoiding additional sugar from the dressing. So how do I have burritos? This is the magic part of all of the videos, right? Because this channel is about me talking about my journey and what has worked for me and how I can help you, right? So I pretty much have a low carb balanced tortilla, like I tell you. So the tortilla, the bad tortilla is out the window. I have a good tortilla, which is still a regular tortilla. It doesn't taste any different, so it's not weird. I have my guacamole, my avocado. So yesterday I had that burrito I mentioned at the beginning of the discussion, and it was just the best ever. But I knew it wasn't going to be the best for me, my health-wise. So I had a half avocado with it. So I sliced a half avocado and I ate that with it. And I had what you have is wild rice. You can have some wild rice with it. So in my previous video, if you don't know about wild rice, that's the rice you want to eat as diabetic, or at least try it and see if it works for you. Wild rice. Brown rice is okay. White rice is a no-go. And kidney beans. I love kidney beans, so, you know, the more beans, the better. And I'll have the regular tomato salsa or tomatillo salsa, the green stuff, the green chili salsa. And I like it really spicy, so I like really hot stuff, really hot spicy stuff. So I'll throw in some habanero hot sauce in there to go with it. And your typical stuff. I don't like salads, but I'll have the onions, the green peppers, all that stuff in there. If it's mixed with a burrito, I have no problem about eating salad ingredients. And of course, an optional salad is never a bad choice, right? Have your burrito and have a small salad to go with it as well. So don't forget to include my blood sugar lowering drink, which I've talked about in a previous video, when having your burrito, because that's going to help lower the blood sugar. So let's talk about that burrito I had yesterday. I had that burrito. I had it for dinner yesterday. I haven't had burrito in such a long time. And this is not something where I had control. It was a food truck. Who doesn't love food trucks? Around the world, people love food trucks. And this fella specializes in making Mexican food. So I had a burrito. I brought it home. I saved it for dinner. Had it for dinner. It was excellent. The best burrito I've ever had in such a long time. But I thought to myself this morning, I said, you know, I haven't had a burrito in a long time. Let me check my fasting blood sugar levels this morning. And when I checked it, it was 129 at 6:30-ish this morning. My fasting blood glucose was 129. For me, that's unacceptable. I mean, because I balance my blood sugar naturally, I don't take medication to do so. But if you're on medication, that may be way off for you as well, because your medication may lower your blood sugar very low, and it may not be a problem because your medication is going to help you get it lower than 129. But I was 129 this morning and I wasn't happy about that. But I also understood that a burrito is not something I eat all the time. So I do it in moderation. So long term, what does that mean for me? Does that mean my hemoglobin A1C when the doctor checks it is going to be bad? No, because I don't do this all the time. I do it in moderation. So once in a while, it's nice to indulge in something, but you don't want to get yourself into a diabetic coma. So I try to maintain my blood sugar at 120 or below. And, you know, that has kept me where my blood sugar currently, my A1C, excuse me, currently is at 5.3. So I was able to reverse my diabetes diagnosis just following these things and making smarter choices, common sense choices, and not just saying, oh, I can't have this or I can't have that and be unhappy about life. You know, I'm a lot happier when I can eat because I'm a foodie. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. Half of you guys watching here haven't even subscribed to the channel, so please do so. Like the video, because if you like it, like you hear on other videos, the algorithm will see that you like the video and show it to other diabetics that need help just like we need help, and give them this alternative way of thinking about diabetes and dealing with diabetes, where it's just a moderate lifestyle change. Also, share the video with other diabetics. Tell other diabetics about it. Tell them where to find me, and let's have a discussion in our community section like I've always mentioned in previous videos. But that's pretty much it for me, guys. I know you guys were going to love this video because I was excited about talking about this burrito and how it affected my blood sugar, and it was just great because, you know, you can have burritos and you can be a diabetic and you can be a happy diabetic. Have a good day.